You know what's interesting in the interest of authenticity, I can say that I've now recorded this. This is the third time I'm trying to record this, and I think it's been useful because I'm speaking out loud some thoughts which are not clear in my mind yet. What have I said already? What I've said already is that I came to this spot because it's a nice spot in the neighborhood that I haven't seen yet, and getting out of the house has allowed me to do that, and that's the whole purpose. I find it's good to be motivated by these daily videos because it gets me out of the house, it gets me exploring different parts. And yeah, the topic I was speaking about before, which I've not got right twice now, and I'm going to attempt for a third time, is talking about the fact that I'm a private school boy. I am a private school boy with a headmaster and head of form and a sixth form house and all that crap. Now, why is this relevant? I was listening to Fred again. Fred again, love his Tiny Desk concert, like his music. He's an English DJ if you don't know him. And him and the sort of music he does and the kind of world he inhabits, and what, not just him, but like, and maybe not him, maybe he's not the person to call out. And I'm not calling him out because I really like his music and he seems like a cool guy. But there's this kind of, where I came from living in Hackney, which is a place where there's a lot of cultural appropriation from kids who went to private schools. You know, private school kids who, like myself, moved to Hackney. I moved to Hackney because that's where a lot of my friends lived, and I thought this is where a lot of creative stuff is happening. And it's true, that is how it is. And there's a particular type of person that lives in Hackney. Because, you know, I went to school in Surrey. I went to a school called Reed School, and a lot of the people who kind of go to those Surrey schools either end up living in East London or they live in Clapham. And it's funny how you divide those people. You've got the people who are living in Clapham who maybe took their private education and went through the traditional route of being all sorts of careers, like kind of comfortable careers, which I did not do, and I often think maybe I should have. But and then you have the people who take their private education, like Fred again, and they live in Hackney, and they get into the different music scenes and the different creative scenes. And it's interesting because what is true authenticity? Because I don't believe that someone, just because you went to a private school or just because you went to a comprehensive school or a state school, that you shouldn't be, you're limited by what you should or shouldn't do. Because of course not, that's not why. But you also have to address that the children who go to private schools are so much more privileged. Because, you know, for example, my English literature A-level class had 4 people in it, versus someone who maybe went to a sixth form somewhere else in East London, where there's maybe, like, if someone's doing English literature, there could be up to 20, 30 kids doing that. You know, so can you imagine the level of attention that I got compared to someone else? It's like, that is one of the great benefits, but perhaps one of the injustices of a private school compared to other schools. So I'm aware of this, and I cannot say how I'm not one of these people who are gonna bash my parents for sending me to a private school. You know, neither of my parents went to a private school. My father is the child of Iranian immigrants, and my mum is from a very sweet place up north, of the north of England. So it's not like they came from privilege and then they're just continuing the path of privilege. They sent us to private schools because they believed that was the best way to give us the best education. And I cannot say enough how grateful I am to both of them, and for everything they've done for me, and all of my education, my university education as well, and my master's. I would not be standing here in Sicily trying to make it work here if it wasn't for the love and dedication of my parents. That's not what this is all about. This is just about the fact that it's a reflection on, you know, kind of private school culture and gentrification into Hackney and to East London, and cultural appropriation of a lot of people who go there. It's really interesting because I can say wholeheartedly I was not part of that cultural appropriation when I lived there, and it was because, and it's not because I'm some, you know, woke warrior. It's because it didn't feel authentic to me to speak with a slight little like Roman accent slightly, you know, and like oh, still like, oh, what what do they say? Something like, oh yeah, mate, that's sick, bruv. And you know, like this is me impersonating a Surrey kid who lives in East London. I'm not trying to impersonate someone who authentically grew up in Hackney. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to impersonate the boy who lived in Surrey and went to school in Surrey, now lives in Clapton, you know. You know, like, oh come on, mate, let's go to this party tonight. I'm sure for the majority of your education you said party, and now you're saying party. Like there's this extreme sense of inauthenticity sometimes, and I was feeling that when I saw Fred again went to a private boarding school, and now he's living that Hackney life, and I don't hate him for it. It's just funny. It's just funny in that it kind of is compounds why I think I never would have made it in Hackney, or even like I don't think I would have continued to live in Hackney for the rest of my life, and why I don't think my career ever really would have taken off if I lived in Hackney, because I just didn't fit into that kind of the cool gentrified scene, and it just didn't. That's not me. I didn't want to appropriate, and some people are more comfortable doing that. And it's like I love the Afro-Caribbean culture of East London. It's something I'm so proud of when I think of being from London. I think it's so cool that London is such a melting pot with so many different cultures. And I think that it's about embracing each other's cultures but not appropriating it. You know, like I'm never going to be like I'm never going to be like a grime artist, and I think that's because I went to a private school. And I don't think I should, like, imagine if I was like went to a private school and I wanted to be a grime artist. Like, what the hell is that? And I'm not saying that's what Fred again is doing, but you just see that. It's like it's kids who went to the Herodian school, or kids that went to St. John's or Reeds, and loving Stormzy and Skepta and all those people and Central C. And it's like, I'm not saying they shouldn't like it, but just when they're so passionate about it, and they go to live in these areas to feel like they're really part of like the London hood, and it just is weird to me. It's weird to me. And anyway, all of this to say, now I'm living in Sicily, and it's just funny, isn't it? Oh my God, there's a moped there, and there's 3 kids on it. 3 kids on the back of a moped. That's so funny. Yeah, let me move the camera a little bit. See the ocean. It's beautiful, isn't it? This is Catania. It's a construction site here, but this is Catania. The ocean is there, cactus, and then you've got the rest over here. And you've got those kids over there. I wonder what they're thinking. Let's try and put the camera on here. Oh wow, that's kind of worked. Yeah. So yeah, what was I saying? I'm just a private school boy, and just trying to. It's just funny because I think what I was gonna say is that I reflect on, did I use enough of do I ever think about? Sorry. You know, a lot of the people that I went to school with work like very traditional jobs. And all people that I know who also went to private school are like investment bankers, they're lawyers, they're all these things, and they've really used their education to give them a lot of stability in their lives. And it should be that way for everyone. But then I think of myself, and it's like, have I done that? No, I live quite an unstable sort of life, being here now, trying to build this career. And it's just funny. And a lot of the time I can't help but think how rich my life is, because I get to be here and try to make things work in this really wild place where kids drive mopeds with 3 of them on it. And it's just, it's super cool, like the environment that I'm in. But it's like, it goes back to that feeling, like, did I use my education enough? Did I use, like, as much as I'm extremely grateful for it and for everything, did I use it in the way that was right and in a way that others people would have used it? Am I worthy of my education? I definitely don't feel like I'm worthy of my education. Definitely not. But I'm very grateful for it. And I'm grateful for all the opportunities I've had and everything. And I think it's important for me to not get paralyzed by that sort of guilt sometimes, because we only get one chance at this material life. On this earth, we only get one chance. No matter what comes afterwards, we know, one thing we know for sure is we get one chance to be a human on earth. And what we do with that is obviously important. And if people had more gratitude, I think they would not only be happier, but I think the world would be a better place. If we just really, really were grateful for everything. Especially people like myself. I think a lot of people have a lot of reasons to be downtrodden, and there's a lot of people who have a lot of injustice. There's a lot of injustice that people have to suffer from. But I myself, I'm not suffering from any injustice. I'm incredibly fortunate to be here and to be alive and to have the opportunity to really give this career in film a go. So many people have so much less. So I just have to be grateful for everything. I have to be so grateful because so many people have so much less. And if more people could be more grateful, those especially who have privilege, those are people who are not suffering in the way that so many people are suffering, we're just grateful for what we have, the world will be so much better. And yeah, that's why you have to contextualize it for yourself. I'm not saying that it's a blanket thing that everyone 100% has to be grateful, because a lot of people really do suffer. I should contextualize that I am so grateful for everything, and I have to be more grateful. And I see a lot of people who have the same amount as me, if not more, and they're not grateful. And they would be happier if they were. So on the pathway to this endless journey of becoming a filmmaker here, I just have to be grateful for everything. And I'm so grateful for the love that I'm surrounded by. From my own parents, from my wife, from my family, from my brother, my sister, my brother-in-law, all these people, both brother-in-laws. I've got two now, actually, that's true. Even my Italian brother, my Gloria's brother, he doesn't say much, but he sent me a really lovely Arab deodorant for my birthday. It's amazing, what a lovely thing to do. And then my sister's husband also, he was so supportive of doing these vlogs, and my sister's been very supportive. My younger brother doesn't really say much, but I know he supports, and he's going to be coming soon. And Danny, if you're watching, I look forward to spending more time with you here. So yeah, I'm just so grateful for all the love that I'm surrounded by, from all my friends, from people like Natasha and Andrew, from Beverly and Aiden, Aaron, Chagall, Oliver, Theo, Adela and Badi, all these people. I can say all your names because I'm not famous, and you're not going to go. This video is probably not going to go anywhere. Well, maybe it will someday, but yeah, all these people. And if I haven't mentioned you, it's because you've not been watching the vlogs. But no, just so many friends, basically everyone who came to my wedding here. Yeah. Gratitude. Private school kid, but I'm grateful. And yeah, probably the most rambly of all of them, all of my vlogs. Oh crap, I've got to go, and this is not really quite where I wanted it to be, but we move, we try. Each day, it's about putting something out each day, and it's about reflecting on everything, and all of this is helpful towards the final goal. And look, this is really, is this working? I wonder. I'll look at it in a bit and see if the wind protector has protected the sound.